edition of Where Are They Now? Quarantine edition. And today I'm talking with Alexa Haight. How are you, Alexa?
I'm so good. How are you?
Oh, it's so good to see your face.
You too.
I miss you. We miss
I
you at
miss
Waldorf.
you. I
You're one of
know.
our alumni who has left recently.
Yes.
So you still have been in some shows with us. Not too far away. Some of
Yeah,
our alumni have been 6 and 7 years out of
I know.
Waldorf. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us where you are quarantining and if it's the same place that you live currently.
So I'm quarantining in Nevada with my parents. We got me out of New York just in time for all the craziness. So I live in New York City in Upper Manhattan, going to school there. And when everything started getting crazy, me and my parents were like, we have to get me out of there. And so quarantining here for now. But yeah, I'll move back there when everything calms down and everything.
Great.
So.
I'm sure that they're happy you are home and safe.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
It's
to
been
be
wonderful.
in the hotbed of everything in New York,
Yes.
a
My
small apartment.
best friend is back there, and she says it's just getting crazier by the day. You get fined if you walk on the streets,
Gee.
and it was just getting really bad when I left. I caught a flight like the next day. I booked a flight and got out of there, so
Great. Well, I'm glad you're home and you're home safe.
me too.
So we're talking about Wild Horse today. Can you tell us, if you remember, what was your first show with Wild Horse? How old were you, and what was your last show?
So my first show with Wild Horse was The Little Mermaid, and I don't remember how old I was. I think I was like 12, 11 or 12. At that point, I had been doing theater for a while, and I just came to Wild Horse and absolutely fell in love with it, with the people and the creative team. All you guys were wonderful to work with, and so that was my first show. And then my most recent show was Aladdin. I think I was 14, 15 maybe. Yeah,
Who did you play in Aladdin?
I was Iago. So it was one of the hardest parts I've ever played, and I'm sure you remember, trying to get that puppet to work and to really just dive into that character was just so difficult, and I would go home so defeated, and like I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off, Carol. Like, are you sure you don't want to just cast someone else? But I ended up doing it, and it was super fun. It was a very fun character once I got over that hump of like trying to navigate everything. But
Right.
yeah.
It was a lot because you had to learn how to be a puppeteer
Yeah.
and to do your character as the puppet. And Alexa, you did an amazing job. You
Thank
were a
you.
beautiful Iago.
I
And
really
I mean, it's a skill. I hope you're putting puppeteer on your resume now.
Oh, I do not have it on my resume, but I should put it on because that took a lot of work.
Do you have a story of anything crazy or funny that happened to you backstage or on stage?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I have a lot of crazy, funny stories backstage, but because I'm just a very clumsy person, and it's it's hilarious. But in Hairspray, I was Brenda, the Corny Collins kid that got pregnant and had to leave the show, which is why Tracy comes into the show. And so this particular night, all of my family was there. It might even have been the night that we were filming, and uh, I was so excited. I was filled with adrenaline, and I had to put my hands in my head in my hands and cry and run off stage. And this night I ran off stage and hit my head on the set piece, and it bounced off, and the entire audience was like, and then I was so confused, and then everyone was like, are you sure you can keep going? I was like, that was funny. Like, my head hurts, but like, I'm gonna do the show. Like, I don't know, show must go on. And so I just remember like my parents coming up to me after, the first thing they said was, "Is your head okay?" Like, not good job. They were like, "Oh my gosh, like why the one night we're here, you know?"
Oh,
So
the show must go on, and you guys are
I know.
always troopers, even with a
No, and then
concussion.
remember you guys gave me the award for like most clumsy or something like that, and I got like some Advil because I literally always hurt myself.
Oh
It was
no.
so funny.
That's funny. So, what are you doing now? Fill us in on where you went after high school and after Wild Horse, and what you're doing.
Yeah, so I live in New York City, as I was saying earlier. I'm graduating in May from, it's called the Institute for American Musical Theater, and it's a 2-year, basically conservatory certificate program. And basically what the founders wanted to do, it's only 3 years old, so it's a very new school. It doesn't have very much behind it, but it's taking Broadway professionals and bringing them in every day to teach us. So we're learning from the people that are currently on Broadway or have been on Broadway, so that we are getting the most effective training. And so we're in school every day from 9 to 4:35, and just very intense training, singing, dancing, acting. There's no academics. It's just like the most academic we have is history, like musical theater history. And so it's pretty cool. We have dance classes with people that are in Wicked and, Frozen. And so they'll come in during the day and teach us and then go to their show at night, which is just really cool to have that in with the business and to get it firsthand from people. And also this school has been, because they've been in the industry a while, they have made some connections, and we've gotten to do some workshops and stuff. So I just recently did a workshop of a new Broadway show, which is a really cool process to be a part of and get to kind of build it from the ground up and be a part of changing the script. And we had a different script every day and that kind of thing, and just seeing the different sides of the industry that a lot of universities don't see has just been super cool. So
are you currently in school? What are they doing since everything's shut down in New York?
yeah, so we are online as best as we can. A lot of our classes got cut. Unfortunately, we had like song interpretation and a bunch of different stuff like that. And so we're doing acting, some dance classes, a lot of conditioning, and then it's called Voice Bar. It's basically ballet bar for your voice to get technique and just work on that. So we're doing a lot of Zoom for acting and voice, and then dance classes are over Facebook Live as best as we can do them.
So what will you do when you graduate?
Well, this whole Corona has kind of changed everything. When I left, I was starting to audition. I had just auditioned for 2 non-ec tours, Hairspray and then Anastasia. And then I was just gonna continue auditioning, and then all the Broadway shows except I think 6 are going back up, 6 of them, and so that kind of changes things. So I'm thinking about staying here, at least while everything calms down there, and because all the Broadway vets are gonna get jobs before all the non-ec people who have never worked, and so I'm gonna stay here, focus on film and TV. I've been really interested in that. And then I'm gonna go back to UNR and finish up my bachelor degree, so that eventually I can start my own theater company or take over one or something back here and just share my love of theater that way. And so for now, we're just rolling with the punches, and I definitely absolutely want to go back to New York and audition. That is not fulfilled in my heart yet, but for now I want to focus on TV and film and stay here and kind of get my bearings,
Yeah, and I know this has thrown a wrench into a lot of people's plans. I have a friend who just got into Wicked 2 weeks before the quarantine
Oh.
She first time on Broadway, 2 weeks and closed.
I've been seeing so many stories like that.
Yeah.
Six, the musical, their opening night was the night Broadway got shut down. So they
Oh.
didn't even get to have their opening night. And the show is obviously not going to go back, probably not going to go back up because it never started, you know?
Right.
So it's a bummer.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But, we'll see the lights on Broadway again, and I'm sure you'll be back there, Alexa. I know that's your passion. Um, so can you tell us why you decided to pursue a career in the theater arts? A lot of our young people have aspirations to continue this into college and into their lives. A lot of our alumni have chosen different paths.
Yeah.
So can you tell us why you did decide to pursue it?
Yeah. It took a lot of deciding. A lot goes into moving to New York right out of high school. It's a very big decision, very expensive. But I think I auditioned for a lot of colleges, and I was thinking um, maybe getting like a side degree just in case. And then I had this epiphany one day, and I was like thinking about not pursuing those dreams in New York City. I can't imagine doing any other job for the rest of my life, and if I stayed here, I think I would always wonder what if, and I know my heart is there right now. And so I just was like, I'm gonna go for it. And I'm young, I don't have anything tying me anywhere yet. And I was like, I owe it to myself to do this for all the hard work I've put in and the passion that I have for this. I just could not. I mean, I was doing at one point 3 shows at a time, killing myself, getting 3 hours of sleep a night so I could do this. And so none of me wondered whether or not this is what I wanted to do.
Right.
So, yeah.
Good. You followed your dreams, which I think is always great.
Yes.
Do you have a dream role?
Yeah, I was thinking hard about this because you can name any show and I could probably give you a dream role from it. But I would say right now I'm on a big Frozen kick. I want to play Princess Anna so bad because she reminds me a lot of me in the sense of like being quirky and not what you would imagine a princess being like, like just having fun and being unapologetically yourself. I think that would be so much fun. And on Broadway, like with all the lights and dancing, and so I think that would be it.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to see you as Princess Anna one day.
Thank you.
I've always been putting everybody a little bit on the spot. Would you like to share some of your beautiful voice with us? Would you like to sing a song for us?
Well, yeah, I will. Yeah, I was thinking of maybe doing music with this, but we're just gonna do it a cappella.
Okay.
We're just gonna go for it. So, in my dreams, it's so real, and my heart has so much to reveal, and my dreams seem to say, don't be afraid to go on. Don't give up hope, come what may. I know it all will come back one day.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's so good.
Oh, it's so weird singing.
I know. I've had some people try to do it with music and most a cappella, so that was beautiful. Thank you, Alexa. I haven't heard you sing in so long, and this is one of my selfish reasons for doing this. I get to hear everybody perform a little bit.
I know, it's so fun.
Do you have any advice that you would give our up-and-coming young people who are watching this today?
Yeah, I have 2 things that I would probably say. My first one is, this is always the quote I kind of went back to growing up, and especially now, is the hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I think that's so important to remember because it's so easy to get caught up in watching someone who has just such raw talent and just getting really down on yourself. And, you can work hard and if that person is not working hard, the directors and the people behind the table will see that, you know, and they would much rather work with a hard worker. And so I just think it's important to never give up on yourself, you know. Just keep on the grind, because your efforts will be noticed. And then the other one I was gonna say is, do this for joy. You know, the reason we all come together and do theater is because we're so passionate about it, you know. And a lot of times we get so caught up in doing it for an audience and getting praise for it, and wanting people to like us and, you know, give us attention. And I just think it's so important to do it for you. And at some point that will really come into play for auditions and stuff. If you're just up there doing it for yourself and your own joy, that's going to show, and it's going to be so fun to watch for the audience, and it'll be 10 times more fun for you, you know. We get so caught up in just trying to do it for everyone else, and what's important is we're fulfilling the joy that we have in our hearts. So I just think, have fun. Like, do not, that's it, have fun, you know.
This has been an ongoing theme, I think, with a lot of our alumni, about being yourself and not being intimidated by someone else's talent.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's much easier said than done, you know. Yeah. I've learned that. But it is really important, because, you know, no two people in the world have the same thing to offer. You know, the casting directors are going to be seeing something so different from what you see, and you're always going to undermine your talent. You're always going to think, oh, that person's better. And if you let that get in the way, you're not going to let people see the joy and love and talent you have to offer.
Right, and right. You guys are enough. I mean,
exactly.
Right. Casting is a difficult decision, but it comes down to so many different things, and not just who's the best singer or the best dancer. I mean, sometimes it just comes down to joy and passion.
Yeah, and who's standing next to you, you know? If you have a prince, you have to have someone who matches that in height or whatever, you know? So,
yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your wisdom and insights with us, Alexa, and what you're doing out there in the world, sharing your joy and your passion, and we can see it all the time. Stay safe. Please say hi to the family for us. You know, we miss them as much as we miss you, because we don't get to see the family as much. But we hope to see you on stage.
Yes.
When this is over, or at least come and visit us at Walmart.
Oh, I will. I fully plan on it while I'm here.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much again. Bye.
Bye.
Where are they?